Hey everyone, the title of this video is Hear My Plea. I would like to ask you to listen to this video all the way to the end. It will be unscripted, so forgive me if my thoughts are not all in order like they usually are. But this is a special occasion. This is a subject that is near and dear to my heart, and I want to make a case for it. So let's begin. As most of you know, Roe v. Wade has been overturned, and I hear a lot of people say that they don't want to vote, that they're not going to vote. And I understand that most of it is because they are not into politics, or they hate the government, or they probably think that it doesn't matter either way. So I want you to imagine that you work in a company, and this company has decided to no longer allow women to use the restrooms inside the premises. So now women are going to have to go outside into the woods, into the street, to go to the restroom. And they're doing this, some out of spite for women, because they hate women, some because it's supposedly against their religion, others because they want to take us back to how it used to be before, when women didn't have the right to use the bathroom, only men did. I know that this might not be the best analogy, but please hear me out. So you have the right to complain about the company, you have the right to be angry at the company, to think it's the worst company ever, that perhaps you would like to move to a different country to work at a different company, but unfortunately, this is all you have. You're stuck with it. You can't not be affected by what goes on because that's the only game in town. So what I'm asking you to do is to say, okay, this is a shitty company either way, but I have the opportunity to vote so that women have equal rights as me, so that they can use the restrooms just like us men, so that they don't have to go outside, because this is not going to be just during the day. Let's pretend that this company is open 24/7 and that it doesn't matter what time of day it is. It doesn't matter if it's in the middle of the night. I want you to imagine little girls or women going outside into the bushes, into the woods, and having to go and use the restroom there and not have the same rights that you have, so that you can just, whenever you want, at any time of day, you can just go to the restroom and use it, and it's no big deal. You're not being harassed. Your life is not in danger. Your safety is not in danger. You have every right. You're still going to have every right, regardless. But if you could do something so that women would continue to be treated as your equal when it comes to that, would you do it? Or are you going to say, no, I hate the company so much that I'm not going to vote, or I'm going to vote so that women are forced to go outside and are going to be endangered because I hate them so much that I want to harm them, that I want to do something that is going to harm them? Or are you going to say, I'm not going to vote because I hate the company so much and this is my way of getting back to it? Even though you not voting, you're not going to affect the company. Not directly. You're not going to be affected by it. Not directly. Indirectly, yes. Because we're all in the same company. We're all in the same country. And you will be affected by it in some way, shape, or form. So you saying that you hate the company, therefore you're okay with hurting women in the process. Who are you really harming? Are you harming the company? Or are you harming the women? Are you harming the little girls that have nothing to do with this? They're not the ones that own the company. They're not the ones running the company. It's men, mostly men, that are doing this. And I am begging you that if you have any sympathy, any empathy, any shred of kindness in you, to please put aside whatever it is that you believe about politics or how much hatred you have towards this country or towards the politicians. I don't care. I'm asking you to put that aside. You can continue to hate them. You can continue to speak shit against them. That's fine. That is your right. But you have the opportunity to vote so that women are treated with some of the same respect as you are treated, not as cattle. These people want to treat us as cattle. How can you be okay with that? I don't understand. How can anybody be okay with that? With women being treated like animals. I will tell you this, if I was in your shoes, if I was the man that was not going to be affected one bit, that my life was not going to be moved or changed in any way, but I knew that by me doing something that is free, it doesn't even cost you anything, that is absolutely free, if my vote would save women's lives, would put them back into the place that they deserve to be in, which is the same as you. We're not asking for privileges. We're not asking to have more rights than you. We just want to have the same rights as you do over your body. We want bodily autonomy, which is what you have. Your bodily autonomy is not in play here. You're not in risk of losing any of it. But we are. And there's already millions of women that have lost that. There's already millions of women having to go outside into the woods to do their business because they're saying, you are no longer allowed to do it here with dignity. We have removed your dignity. You are now treated as an animal and as a criminal because that is what we think you are. And all I'm asking you to do is to say no. We don't accept that. We won't accept that. We want women to be treated with dignity and respect, with the same dignity and respect that we are treated. We don't want that right taken away from them. We don't want them to be treated like animals, like cattle, like somebody else's property, like slaves of the state. We want them to be treated like human beings, like the human beings that they are. And by you voting for Democrats, that is what you are saying with your voice. That is what you are saying to us as women. You are saying we value you enough to do the minimum, to put the minimum effort into keeping your rights. If I knew that men were going to be treated like that this country was planning on changing laws or removing them in order to treat men like second-class citizens or like potential criminals simply for being men, I would crawl over broken glass to stop that from happening because I care. Because I have nephews, a brother, uncles, friends, and I would not want them to be treated like second-class citizens. Because this is not about me. It's not all about me and my grievances and my hatred and my disdain and my thoughts or my beliefs about politics. This is not about me. Or at least it would not be about me. It would be about helping somebody else. And that is what I'm asking you to do. The other thing is that, when people say, oh, well, I hate the government and both parties are equally bad. They're horrible and they're all corrupt and blah, blah, blah. And I understand. I don't believe that that's the case because Democrats are still trying to fight for some rights. Republicans are not. They're trying to take away every single fucking right that we have. Even the right to vote. People have said that they want to take all rights away from women. The right to vote, the right to go to school. They just want us to be in the kitchen, barefoot and pregnant, popping out all of them kids. Kids that they're not going to help you raise or support. But that's what they want. So my question is, by you saying that you hate politicians so much that you're not going to vote, who are you really hating? Who are you really damaging? Are you damaging the politicians? You're not harming the politicians. You're not harming the people in D.C. You're harming women by you not voting or by you voting for any Republican candidate. Anyone. None of them are in favor of human rights or gay rights or anything that is of value. So this is my plea to you. Please, you have the ability to help us keep our rights. And if you say, well, the Democrats haven't done anything for me. I understand. But the way that I see it is politicians are not perfect. If we are expecting perfection from politicians, we are the problem, not them. Because we are expecting something that is impossible. No country has perfect politicians. So if you're waiting for perfect politicians for you to vote, that's never going to happen. But in the meantime, people are going to be affected and harmed by your choices and actions or lack thereof. You not acting is a choice. And unfortunately, that choice is going to harm us women. Your vote for a Republican or you not voting is going to harm us. Are you really okay with that? Are you really okay with little girls being forced to give birth to their father's child at 10 years old? Or with women going to jail because they had an abortion? Or of women being sent home to bleed for days because they won't perform an abortion until she is in the brink of death? Are you okay with that? Are you seriously going to say that your hatred for politics is greater than your empathy for women? I don't believe that. I don't believe that it is. Women and teenagers in half the country are already being denied pain medication, contraception, medication for their cancer, their lupus, arthritis, diabetes, etc. All because they are in childbearing years, which means that if a teenager is taking medication for her arthritis and she were to become pregnant, that medication would cause an abortion, an unintentional abortion. So because that could happen, they are denying women medication for their illnesses. They are making them suffer on purpose for something that doesn't even exist. Those fetuses don't even exist, and they are already putting them before the rights, the lives, the health, and the future of women. How can someone not find that infuriating? How can that not move you to do something? Something so simple as to fill out a ballot. And if you say that you hate women, I know there's a lot of men that hate women. Are you going to say that you hate a little girl that's just been raped by her stepfather? Do you really hate her so much that you're okay with her being forced to give birth? Can you go to bed every night knowing that thousands of women around the country are suffering? That their lives are in danger because a pregnancy can kill you. It can literally kill you. This is not metaphorically speaking. I know that a lot of people that watch my videos are antinatalist. And one of the things that supposedly defines us is our empathy for others. The fact that we don't want to cause unnecessary suffering. So my question to you is, are you telling me that you care or you claim to care more about humans that do not exist than you do for the ones that do exist? I don't understand how anybody can say with a straight face and be coherent in their beliefs and say that they care about human lives, that they care about human suffering, but yet they won't do the bare minimum to avoid pain, suffering, and death for the humans that already exist. I don't know what else to say to try to convince you to please vote for the Democratic Party. If you were not going to vote because you didn't think it was important, because you're mad at the politicians, whatever, I'm asking you to please reconsider. You won't be able to change politics, but you will be able to change our lives with your vote. Our future, our health, our safety are in your hands. You decide. Are you going to stand up with us? Are you going to help us defend our rights? Or are you going to say, no, I don't care what happens to women. It's not my problem. It's not my fight. So you're on your own. Which one of those two individuals are you? I'm asking you to please be the one who cares. Thank you.